Good morning everyone. It's week 6 of Drawing Request and let's go pick out this week's comment. And the winner this week is Eric McCarthy and he requested maybe just paint or draw something that is your favourite thing or subject or theme, like a favourite of favourites. What makes you happiest perhaps? I shouldn't be shocked that Eric's is a very thoughtful request. It kind of leaves me up to my own devices a bit. And the art movement that I'm going to depict this in is, let's have a go at pronouncing this, is Cloisonnism. Now I probably pronounced that awfully because I never studied French, but it basically comes from the word cloisonné, which is a technique of decorating metalwork and sculptures with molten glass. It looks kind of similar to enamel, like you'd see on a pin badge. It's kind of similar to that. It's funny because I feel a little bit lucky getting this as an art movement on this prompt, because one of my favourite artists is Gauguin, and I really kind of like the idea of having a chance to emulate his style a bit. So it's almost like I'm using a favourite artist for a favourite theme. Now, cloisonné is pretty much founded by the work by Gauguin called Yellow Christ. And you'll see in the examples I've shown, the main themes of this style are kind of blank, flat colours and heavy black outlines, and that kind of is the reason why it has a name like cloisonné, because it's trying to mimic that appearance of big thick metalwork with painted glass within it. It's kind of following almost like a stained glass look. No real gradation or shading in the colours either, it's all very flat. So I'm hoping this isn't going to be a really hard art form to mimic, but at the same time I know how much I love to overwork and shade things, so I'm really going to have to try and learn and put the pen down in this case. So I started out by using a much thicker black marker pen and doing the main black outlines in this drawing. I went with Amelie from the movie Amelie, and she's French too. It's like French week. I had trouble trying to think of a favourite of favourites or a theme. It's an open topic, isn't it? I think I could have picked quite a few things for this, but because Eric said favourite of favourites, the thing it kind of made me think of was, you know when you're not feeling well and you just want to put on a film that you can just zone out and veg out and just enjoy, and by the end of it you always just feel a bit better. You know, you have certain movies like that are like comfort movies. You know, when you're not well, you just want to do things that all just make you feel comfortable and happy, don't you? And Amelie is that for me. I've watched this movie so many times, and whenever I'm feeling like I've just got the flu or anything like that, and it's all cold and horrible like it is right now, I love sticking on that movie because it's so wonderful. I don't know, it's definitely probably, yeah, it probably is my favourite movie. I love the character, I love the cinematography of it, I love the story, I just love everything about it. So that's what I decided to take today, and I also thought she might work with this quite well too. I mean, I'm sure you guys have movies like that. If you do have a movie that is like your favourite, every time you're not feeling well, you've got to stick that movie on to chill out. You should comment below to see what you guys enjoy watching too. I think that'd be really interesting to discuss. I also think this prompt is quite a good start of 10. If you've been watching these drawing requests and you thought they were interesting, but maybe you were a little bit off put by them just because they're often very detailed and very specific, and I think sometimes can be a bit overwhelming, I think this would be a great prompt to have a go at, because your favourite is so personal to you, and I think it'd give you a lot to enjoy and talk about and express, I guess. I just feel like this would be a great prompt for you to come in on. So if you have been fancying drawing them but you've been a little bit off put by some of the more complicated, crazy prompts that we've had the last few weeks, I really would love it if you fancied it to give this drawing prompt a go, and if you do, make sure you leave a comment below so that I can go check it out. It really is a highlight of doing this every week, of seeing everyone's interpretation of the prompt and just enjoying and seeing the individuality in artists' work. It's just really enjoyable for me, I guess. So I'm just being selfish, just do it for me. Even though this is a favourite of favourites, maybe not my favourite of this month. I enjoyed doing it, but I couldn't help myself with this orange ink wash at the end, and I just don't think she looks that much like Amelie. But I never claimed to be an extremely realistic portrait artist, and I think even with lots of practice, you come to realise your limitations, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's a good thing that we reach and appreciate the limitations of our own skills, because it either tells us this is something that I love and I need to work on it more, so it gives you a bit of a kick up the backside to work on it harder, or you realise that it's not something that you want to be perfect at, but at the same time you've gained an appreciation for all the people you admire who do it very well, because you realise how much work and effort they've put into it. So yeah, I think there's always a positive to hitting a limitation like that and still doing it anyway. I think it's good to be humbled every once in a while, and I think this was a bit of a humbling experience. And that's it for this week's drawing request. As always, if you have any idea for a drawing prompt, I'd love to hear it. And if you want to discuss any of the things that I mentioned in this week's video, I'd love to discuss them below. So that's it for another drawing request. I'll see you again soon.